Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mobile App Academy. This is our live building series where we show you how to build and configure mobile apps on the Now platform. My name is David Ha, and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host for today's session. I also will have Ian Keener here today from the mobile team. He'll join us in just a few, but he's also going to be representing the mobile team at ServiceNow as well. And we want to give a warm welcome to everyone joining us here live today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to our Mobile App Academy. Our product experts are here to provide guidance, best practices, and answer any questions that come up along the way. And we host these App Academies every 2 weeks at 10 a.m. Pacific. And all of our recordings will be posted to YouTube on the ServiceNow Now community channel. Just want to point out a few resources that we do have available. If you're new to mobile, we recommend that you check out some of our self-enablement resources, such as our mobile guidebooks and white papers that you can find on our mobile community site. But we do also have a plethora of other resources, such as labs and mobile training on the Now Learning site, as well as our playlist to all the previous app academies where you can find sessions like getting started with mobile agent, jump-starting your configurations with Now Mobile, as well as 30 other academies. But also, if you do like sessions like these, our ServiceNow teams also do host academies for HR service delivery, platform foundation, virtual platform analytics, virtual agent, and many others. But you can find these in their respective community forums if you navigate to their forum tabs. But with all of that said, let's get started with today's topic. We're going to show you how you can configure your mobile alerts to pop up anytime your agents are working on tasks that might require special attention. So they'll make sure to read any additional notes or information before starting their work, okay? And just to quickly review for today's schedule, this will be about a 1-hour session. We'll start it off with a quick 10-minute overview on what mobile alerts are and why it's important. And then we'll jump into a 30-minute exercise in which we'll show you the step-by-step on how to configure this workflow. And then we'll open up to some Q&A at the end. But with all that said, let's dive into a quick overview. So mobile alert handling. This is a feature that we released in Rome that allows your admins to configure a mobile alert that can be applied to any record screen that you want. So, commonly, this might be used anytime that you want to call attention to your agent, that when that person is working on a task, that task needs to be handled with care, right? And that you're making sure that the agent has all the information that they need before they jump in and start the task. So let me show you what a mobile alert looks like really fast. Let me share another screen here. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen now. I'm going to jump into the out-of-the-box field service mobile app. And this feature is going to be available if you update your field service mobile plugin to Roam. This is going to be available for Roam and beyond, right? So if I check out all of the critical tasks that are assigned to my agent that's currently logged in, I'll go ahead and tap on to see all my critical tasks. Right now, out of the box, the field service team has built out anytime that a work order task has special handling notes, right? If there's any task that has one, the mobile alerts will pop up. And I do know that there is an alert for 1092. So we'll tap on this. And you'll notice that immediately a pop-up module pops up and it says this task has special handling notes. Please read these notes before proceeding. So all of this text can be, configured. There's that agent can either close out on that note, but if you close out on it and that person doesn't actually look into what that message says, you'll notice that there's a red indicator that there's an alert that needs to be read. So that agent can go back in and tap on it. It'll take you, it will navigate you to a list or a record screen. This is currently a list screen. If that agent taps on this, then you'll get additional details, right? And of course, this is also configurable. I think this is using the platform special handling notes. So this is very specific to field service agent workflows, right? Also, another thing, if they were to leave their app, and go back into their task, that mobile alert will always pop up. So this is just a reminder that the agent needs that they have to make sure they're proceeding with what the message tells them before they work on it. Okay. But again, this comes out of the box for work for field service mobile. I do want to show you how you can take advantage of this workflow in any table or workflow. This can be applied to anything. So I'll actually show you how to build one from scratch. Okay. Let me share one more slide before we jump into our exercise. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to configure an alert that will notify our technicians that anytime they open up a task that is associated with a specific company, that alert will pop up and then let them know that there's specific hours that the agent has to work on site. And this will make sure that the agent's compliant with our, their customers' requests and making sure they're only working during the times that are permitted on site. Okay. To configure this, there are 4 steps. First, we will need to create a record screen for our mobile alert. So this is the screen that will that when the agent taps on view or clicks on that alert, it will either take them to a list or a record screen, right? The second part is creating that navigation function so that you can navigate to the screen. And then third is there's this new table that you create a record on. It's called a mobile alert. That mobile alert is basically that pop-up module in which you can control the title and the short description. And then lastly, we'll just associate this mobile alert to whatever list screen that we want. But we'll apply this to our work order task screen. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. We're going to first start off by creating a record screen for our mobile alert. So let me do a new share here. There we go. Okay. So let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into mobile app builder and build a record screen that we can navigate to for our mobile alert. What I mean by that is when I tap into this mobile alert and the agent taps on view, this navigates them somewhere. The field service team navigated them to a list. I don't even want to see the screen. This is an extra tap that the agent needs to take. I just wanted them to take them directly to this record screen. Okay, so let's build that out now. Let's build out mobile app builder. We're going to leverage the out of the box field service mobile scope. Okay, and then we're going to tap on screens and then create a new record screen. Okay. And then we'll call this, mobile alerts. Now let's call this something more specific. Let's call this, let's just call it mobile alerts record screen. And then I'll give it a specific naming so that I can find it easier later. And then we'll scroll down here. We have to build this from scratch, right? So we're gonna have to build a new card. We'll also have to select an icon. I'll just use one out of the box. For field service, let's use this wrench icon here. Okay. And anytime you're building a new screen, I would recommend trying to save as often as possible. I can't save yet because it requires me to create a card first. So let's create a new one. And then we are going to name this mobile alert view config. And then it's going to ask us to create a new card template. Again, this is, if you're unfamiliar with building a new card and template, this is an academy that we have walked through previously. So just make sure to check out that YouTube playlist if you want to learn more. Okay. I'm just going to speed on through here. Let's call this mobile alert card template, and then we'll save. Once we save, we can now jump into mobile card builder to configure how this template and card will look like. I'm going to build a very simple template in which I just want to display two fields. Those two fields are, it's going to show the short description of my work order task. And then the second field is going to show me my description, which will give them more details on when that agent should be accessing or completing that task on site. Okay. So as with any template, we need a container. And within that container, we can add a text component. And then we'll just do that one more time right below it. And now we have our super simple template. Of course, I can change like the margins and whatnot to make sure it looks better, but we'll just stick with this simple one for now. So let's go and save this. And then we can exit mobile card builder. So I've only created the template so far. Let's go back into our card and then define the fields that we want on that template. So we'll now jump, we're now in our mobile card. So let's open this up in card builder. And then for the two text elements, let's define our fields. So notice that I can't click on anything for map fields. And the reason for that is because I didn't define the table on my mobile app builder. So let's go back here and say that we want to pull fields from the work order task table. And then we'll save. I think I have to close card builder in order to get a refresh. I don't think there's like an automatic refresher. So let's just open that up again. Yep, so there it is. So now let's go ahead and map the first field to show short description. And then the second will show long description. Okay, and then we'll save. And of course, since we're configuring like the mobile alerts message, right? Like this could be any field, any table that you want. I just so happen to be using the work order task table because it's faster. But just know that you can use anything that you want here. So let's go ahead and save this. So now we have our record screen for our mobile alerts, right? Our second step is to create a navigation so that we can go to that screen that we just created. So let's go back into home and create a navigation function. Okay, so we'll click on functions and create new. And this will be navigate to our mobile alerts. The type will be action item because it's it's going to be navigation, sorry. And the context is going to be record because this will require context in order to navigate to the specific screen that we want, right? Which is a record screen. And then for table, we're going to select work order task. And then I can't save until I create a destination screen, but we just created one for record screen. So we're going to select that one in which I called mobile alerts record screen. There we go. And then I think we should be able to save now. Okay, perfect. So if I were to navigate to this record screen needs some sort of context. Like how does it know, to navigate from this specific record into the record screen for 1092, right? And so in order to pass over that context, we need to use this redirection destination fields table. If I were to create a new one here, you'll notice that it's going to ask for a destination UI parameter, right? I can't choose one yet because I haven't created any UI parameters yet. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to go back into my record screen and I'm going to scroll down to UI sections or UI parameters. Sorry, we're going to pass a UI parameter. We'll create new here and we'll just call this, pass sysid. Or we'll just call this sysID. And then this is going to be user input, and the input type is going to be text. Okay. So right now, if I were to leave this as is, right? Let me just save this and show you. So right now, if I were to go here, this view button is a navigation button, basically. This will show up anytime that our navigation conditions are fulfilled. So if it's fulfilled, it'll show up this mobile alert. If I click on view, I would expect to see a screen that asks the user to fill in some sort of text input, right? And that text input is going to be some sort of sysID. But of course, we don't want the user to manually fill in the sysID. So I'll show you how to make it automatic so that it's auto passing the sysID. Okay. So what we're going to do next is, now that we've created this UI parameter, we're going to now go back to our navigation, create that redirection field. We're going to select that UI parameter that we just created, which we called sysID. Hopefully, okay, perfect. And then the source field is going to be the sysID field from the table. And then we'll save. Okay. So now our navigation works. Right. So the next step is we need to now create a mobile alert. And then after we create the mobile alert, we'll then associate that mobile alert to our critical task screen, right? We want to be able to do it here. I currently have a work order task 9001 here. It currently has the company Acme Americas. So anytime Acme Americas shows up on a work order task, I want a mobile alert to pop up. Okay, so that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So now let's go and create that mobile alert. To do that, we actually have to do it outside of Mobile App Builder. So we'll go back into our instance here. And then it's going to be a table called sys.sgalert.list. Okay. All of this is documented on our product docs. So if you go to our doc sites and then look up mobile alerts on the San Diego release notes, or yeah, I would recommend using always the latest release notes, just has more details. Oh, there should be a doc for configuring. Here we go. Configuring mobile alert for form screen. You'll notice that, you have to create a mobile alert from this table here. Okay. So going back to our instance, let's open up this table. We are going to create a new mobile alert. We'll call this alert agents when for and we'll say for this, this task has, let me see, what did I want it to say? Access hours. This task has access hours. And then the message will say something like ensure, oh wait, actually let's say access hours 9 to, no, we'll just make up some sort of message here, 2 p.m. PST, something like that. Okay. Of course, you can modify the title message to whatever you want it to be. You can change the close label if you want. But what we want to do here is we want to associate our navigation that we just created so that that user can navigate to the screen that we want. And that screen is going to contain the message, right? Or additional details, which contains the short description and the long description. So let's, I think we called our navigation navigate to mobile alert. Perfect. And now we'll submit. Something I do need to call out, basically how this mobile alert shows up, it is primarily dependent on this navigation function. So if the conditions are met on the navigation function, the alert will show up. If it's not met, then it won't show up. So let's go back into this navigation here and make sure that we add conditions to it. Otherwise, this mobile alert is going to show up for every record, right? So actually, I want to do this in mobile app builder just because it has a better interface. So we'll open up our navigation function, go down to conditions, and I'll just do a declarative condition, but just know that you can make it more dynamic using script. But just for the simplicity of this use case, let's just say anytime that the company is Acme America. Oh, there it is, Acme America. Then this mobile alert will show up for our agents. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. So now that we've created the alert, the last thing is we just have to, let's make sure I saved here. Yeah, I saved. The last thing is now we just associate our mobile alert to our critical task list, right? And this list is called my critical task. So let's go back into mobile app builder and find that list. We'll go back to the homepage for mobile app builder, click on screens, and there should be something called critical task. And here it is. Now, I did mention that mobile alerts can only be applied to your record screens. It can't show up on a list. It's once the agent clicks on a specific record, that's when the alert will show up, right? It wouldn't make sense for an alert to show up on all the records on a list. So we're going to open up the record screen. Okay. On this record screen, if I scroll down here, you'll notice that there's an out-of-the-box alert that the field service team built. I don't want to use this out-of-the-box one. I wanted to use my own. So we'll select the alert that we just created. Okay, and then we'll save. I think at this point, I want to show you what the current behavior is, okay? And then I'll show you how to make it better. I'm going to do a hard close, do a refresh, just to be safe. Now, if I tap on see all, if I look at my work order task, I think 9001 here, I can confirm that the company for this is Acme Americas. Okay, so the alert should show up for this. I'm going to tap on this one here in the middle, and there's the alert. This task has access hours 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST. If I click view, it's now passing the sysid manually, right? Because we created a UI parameter in which it was expecting the users to type in some sort of user input. Now, how do I, this is not a good experience. So how do I automatically pass that sysid? I'm going to show you a little trick here. If you go into back into mobile app builder and then go back into our navigation. Oh, no, sorry. Go back into the mobile alert screen that we created as our first step, right? So I think we call that screen mobile alert for Mobile App Academy. Now on this record screen, if I scroll down, oh no, it's on the navigation, I'm sorry. So let's go back to the home. We're going to find our navigation, right? Which we call navigate to mobile alert. There's this little setting here that you might pass by. It's called auto-populate screen parameters. And this will auto-populate whatever this parameter is. That way the user doesn't have to tap on search and you just won't see the screen at all. So if I click save here, I'm going to now do a refresh again. I'm going to open up all my tasks, click on the middle one for 9001. It's going to pop up the alert. I'll click on view, which will navigate me directly to that record screen. Okay, so now I have this alert with additional information. I can fill in the description with whatever I want, right? So this is pulling the short description for router maintenance, and then I think in long description somewhere, it says access hours 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. PST. Okay. So that was a very quick example of how you can configure your own mobile alerts for any app, for any workflow. Any questions in the chat that we want to highlight, Ian? And of course, we can make this card look nicer. I would probably put a margin in between this. You can make it look fancier. It's really up to you. But hopefully this gives you the foundation to create your own alerts.
So no questions so far in the chat, David.
Okay. Well, that was this was a really quick App Academy. Feel free to let us know if you have any questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap up for today. No questions? Okay. So let's go. Oh, there's a, when will the previous video session be available? Yes, we do apologize. Our videos are late. It's currently on the backlog. I'm going to try and get 2 App Academies up today, but hopefully all of them will be ready and up on YouTube in the next couple of days. Okay. On our backlog, there's Mobile Classic Migration Part 3 and 4. Also, there's a mobile publishing session that we did a huge deep dive on. So if that's something that you're working on, it's, that will be up this week. That's a super important one. Tony asks, will our Vegas team be in Knowledge for 2022 in Vegas? Ian, are you going to Vegas?
I will be in Vegas, yes.
In Vegas, awesome. So Ian will be there. I will be on the other side. I'll be in Sydney, Australia. So if there's anyone attending Knowledge in Australia, hope to see you there. Okay. All right. Let's go and wrap up. Let me share one last screen here. Okay. Again, thank you everyone for joining us today. If you did find this session helpful, please let us know in our post-session survey. There will be just a couple questions on, asking what topics you want us to explore in the future. Hoping to get more feedback so you can help us build our backlog of App Academies. So definitely let us know. And again, we'll record these, upload them to YouTube. So just make sure you can check them out on the mobile community site and to subscribe to that forum and to register to our App Academy series. Okay. With all that said, thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone. And we hope to see you at Knowledge.